Now, as a measure to curb the spread of COVID-19, Ghana announced the closure of its borders on the 22nd of March, a week after it recorded its first 2 cases, all imported. The president extended the closure of all borders to at least 1 month more. But some Ghanaians living in the diaspora have said that the situation left them stranded in their host countries, and unfortunately they will be unable to return to their land of birth, at least until the ban is lifted. We'll be speaking to some of the affected persons, but before then, the Minister for Information has been speaking to this matter.
Citizens were asked to gather data on who is stranded outside the country so that you can even know the numbers and where they are, and use that data as a basis for decision making. It's our understanding that I think by the end of this week, they will ferry in the data that they have collated. So maybe by the end of this week, we can have some more clarity on the numbers that they have gathered. But just to put it in context, that directive to the missions was to them to gather data. And so the interpretation that is coming across that there's an impending evacuation, I think it should be put in its right context.
As he heard the Minister for Information, Kojo Ponkrumah, say there have been some arrangements which he wanted to clarify because it appears people were misconstruing it. Well, we do have a letter from the High Commission of Ghana's High Commission in London that provides some more details. We'll also be speaking to the Deputy Foreign Affairs Minister. We'll play that to you. But let me tell you what the letter from the High Commission of Ghana's High Commission in London says. It says, request for information on stranded Ghanaians. Now, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration of Ghana is collating information on Ghanaians and legal permanent residents who are stranded abroad as a result of the closure of international borders in containment of COVID-19 pandemic. It goes on to say that to this end, eligible Ghanaians who are prepared to pay, and that is bolding, I must say, says eligible nationals who are prepared to pay for their cost of travel to Ghana must submit their details specified below to the Ghana High Commission not later than close of day on Wednesday, 13th of May 2020, which is today. So it goes on to say what the things you need to bring: name and a copy of biodata page of passport, current location, telephone contact, WhatsApp contact, email address, date of travel from Ghana, original date of expected return to Ghana, copy of return ticket, reasons for inability to return to Ghana, and confirmation of ability to pay for the arranged air travel. And this information is brought to us, is coming from the High Commission in London. Now, let's get some Ghanaians living in a diaspora who are willing to relocate to Ghana but are unable to do so as a result of the closure of all our borders. Bishop John Yao Cheche Man is in South Africa. He's a Ghanaian living in the diaspora, desperate to come home, but unable to do so. And before I also do that, let me let you know that we have Mr. Kuto also here in the studio with us. He'll help us, have that conversation. You're welcome to the show. So let's go to South Africa. Where we talked to one of the Ghanaians who has been stranded. Hello, sir.
Yeah, hello.
How are you doing?
By the grace of God, God is taking care of us.
So what's your story really? How did you get stranded in South Africa?
I came to South Africa for a conference. That was I landed here. That was on the 5th March. And I think that after the conference, I was supposed to leave here on the 2nd of March. 22nd of March, sorry. So I think after the conference, I was preparing to take off, whereas I got to know that all the borders are closed, there's not going to be a flight. So from there, I think we have been stranded around.
So what was the arrangements? You were in a hotel?
Yeah, yes.
Are you still at the same hotel?
Yeah, I'm still in the hotel.
And the hotel still works despite the pandemic?
I think where I got, it was luckily the church who hosted me.
Okay.
There is one of the members, one of the executives who come to church there. So they told them, since there is no way to go, but there is no way I can go. So the only thing is to to stay around until this is over.
So as you're staying, how long have you been staying there now, above the scheduled time of stay?
I think when I arrived, that was on the 5th March. From on the 5th March to now, that's almost about getting to 2 months plus, 2 months.
So you've been in South Africa for 2 months, 2 months above the time you intended to stay there?
Yeah.
How are you paying for the hotel bills and for food, and how is it like?
Here, by the grace of God, is my host who is taking care of me with my food and my hotels and everything.
Okay, so you were desperate to come back home to Ghana, right?
Yeah.
Okay, there is some information from the High Commission in London indicating that they're collating, details of Ghanaians who are stranded who want to come back home, but you have to be prepared to pay for the cost of your return home. What's your reaction to that?
Yes, I think I'm okay with that. Today, I had I had a message from the High Commissioner here, Your Excellency George Ezibwate, who also forwarded to me that we should forward our details because they are preparing. And if it is about to pay for the flight, I'm okay. And there are other Ghanaians also who are stranded here. If it's for us to pay for a flight for them to come and pick us home, we are very comfortable with it.
Okay, you're happy with that. I have never been stranded. I've never found myself in this situation, and I can imagine. Do you want to share with us how this has? How has it been for you? How has the feeling been like?
It is not normal. One of the terrible ones. It's like you're not comfortable. You're not free, especially being on a strange land, whereby you are limited to many things. Yours is to be on your room. You can come out, because if you come out, you will be questioned. And I think the other thing also is like in the area of trying to, it is not easy. It's not easy. It's very uncomfortable. But as long as I'm not the only one going through, I can't complain. Mine is to cope and to be alone, because it's a situation of COVID-19 that has produced this. So it's not comfortable, but I'll be more comfortable when I am at home with my family and my people. But be honest, I'm no one to talk to apart from my host. You don't go to church. There's nothing. It's not a normal life.
I can imagine. Well, now that you've indicated that you've already heard from the mission in South Africa, and they're asking you to prepare for this, what we understand is an evacuation, you're happy to pay for it, then we're good to go, right? Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, bro.
So that's Bishop Yao Cheche. He's a Ghanaian who's stranded in South Africa. He's happy to come back home. Says it doesn't matter. If they have to pay for it, they're ready to pay for it. There are others, they're even prepared to pay for the others who are stranded there. And that's a very good thing. So what do we say about this thing? We've had this conversation here a couple of times. I have here with me, like I indicated earlier, an immigration expert, Wanda Victor Kuto. So we can have a quick chat on this one as well.